What is up, y'all? It's Wisco Madman coming at you with an update on United Flight 328. I spent the day kind of doing a little bit of research here or there as I could, listen to the NTSB report and whatnot. What you just saw were some of the pictures that I could find, one of which kind of shows you a ground view of the plane as just after the engine blew and is started on fire. And then you've seen a picture of the aftermath when the plane's parked back in the United hangar, awaiting investigation and probably already being inspected at that point. The entire cowling's gone. The front ring is gone. Obviously, it landed in front of somebody's house, as you've seen in the pictures there. And right now I'm going to show you a picture of the broken fin from the jet engine to kind of show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so as you can see, the fin broke at the base where the center hub of the jet engine connects to the fin itself. According to the NTSB's preliminary report that I listened to today, basically a summary is they believe that that piece broke off for one reason or another. They will look for, I believe, something along the lines of stress fractures. The chairman called it beach marks, as they like to call it, because of how the water, when the tide rises and whatnot, it creates those marks on the sand. So I believe a nickname they have for it is beach marks. And basically, when that fin busted off, it took another half a piece and then lodged in the protective, I believe cowling is what they call it, the inner cowling. The protective, what's supposed to cause when the engine blows all apart and starts throwing pieces all over, that's supposed to contain it within the engine, or at least, at a very minimum, keep it from going into the fuselage of the plane and hurting passengers or depressurizing the plane in any way, shape, or form. That obviously did not happen, even though it did take a chunk out of the what looked like the cargo area, as I shown in my video yesterday. It did not depressurize the plane, to my knowledge, as of right now. Obviously, this investigation is still underway. New updates will come in the coming days and weeks as to what exactly happened and how we go about from here. The other things that I learned, never knew in the process of flying a plane that you don't want to turn towards the dead engine. So since the right engine was blown, the pilot opted with ATC, air traffic control, to take a left turn to circle back to the airport, and then decrease altitude, from what I understand, to safely land, which did happen. To my knowledge, both fire extinguishers were used. There's probably a more technical term for it, but there's 2 fire extinguishers near the engine in order to put out an engine fire, for both engines, as to my knowledge, and both of them were used in proper procedure from the preliminary report. There's a procedure that pilots have when their engine goes on fire or starts on fire, and as of right now, they believe that the pilot went about the proper procedures. Further investigation will reveal whether or not they can confirm that. Obviously, the black box and whatnot, ATC's recordings with their tower at DIA, and any other evidence that they're reviewing. The NTSB is not, as far as my understanding goes from the preliminary hearing or the preliminary update, is not looking to place blame, but only to find cause in order to put regulation in place to prevent this from happening again. understand, as I said before, the men and women on the ramp are working their butt off to get everything going on time, and nobody really, as to my knowledge at this point, nobody really did anything to cause this to happen. At most, I believe there was either oversight in inspection, but more than likely this engine was pushed too far. That's where the stress fracture marks will be very indicating. Also, I've heard along the way that these turbine fins are hollow. So even with inspection, be it the pilot's pre-inspection, that they have an extensive pre-inspection before flight, and or the mechanic's inspection throughout any of the maintenance records, which the NTSB has yet to fully disclose the information on that, because they are still digging into the records of said plane. But the fracture marks could have been inside the hollow fin, which means without x-raying it, you're never gonna know. And to my knowledge, I don't believe that's a normal procedure. Maybe if they're repairing it for some reason or another, they might do that, but I don't believe that's a normal procedure. It's usually a visual inspection, to my knowledge. At least the pilot's is, for sure. But yeah, guys, without droning on too long, obviously I don't have any for sure on anything, but it sounds like most of this did what it was supposed to do. The fuel cutoff was hit. There should have been no fuel going to the engine. Why it stayed on fire, nobody knows yet. That's what they're investigating. My guess is residual jet fuel and lubrications and different things like that. Or who knows, maybe the cutoff isn't far enough away from the engine. I don't know the particular anatomy of this plane or most planes. I know basics. But if the cutoff was not far enough away from the engine, that could have caused problems. Now, to my side notes, having listened to the NTSB report and reporters asking questions, and this kind of digs into a little bit different topic, but I'll try to keep this part brief on my opinion. Reporters often are looking to blame somebody because that's what gets them notoriety, and that's everybody's looking for the next break to screw somebody over to become famous, or to get their money, or to get their report or their story. Just stop, man. I know some people are entertained by that, but these are people's lives you're messing with. And a lot of the time, in my opinion, this leads to, putting blame on people that just don't deserve it. And you're going to shy people away from the profession and whatnot. These people are very intelligent. It's hard to get the jobs they have. So give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. I understand we need safety, as I spoke in the previous video. Inspection should probably be stricter. Hustle and bustle, maybe not the priority. And again, a lot of that pressure comes from the customer. And then the other part of the pressure is make the customer happy to make your money. So, yeah. It also surprises the hell out of me that the plane's from 1995. I'm sure that's quite normal within the airline industry. I'm sure they have all sorts of new parts on it. But my small brain here, thinking about cars, if the car is from 1995 and it's 2021, that's pretty old, bud. That is pretty old. I've never owned a car that old. My car at 12 years old is dying. So, that's all I got for you guys. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Apologize for drawing it out a little bit there, but Hey, I've also been missing this one. Share the video, guys. Love to spread the word. Peace out.